Yo, what is going on, guys? TymeStopper here, coming back at you with another Raid Shadow Legends video. Guys, in this video, we're going to be talking about Arena. More specifically, we're going to be talking about how to build an Arena team the easy way. Now, there's a lot of different types of Arena teams out there, make no mistake about it, but most of the time when I get questions in the Discord about how to build an Arena team, it's because people are just lost. So today, we're going to talk about the easiest type of Arena team that you could possibly build so that you can progress your game. Whether you're in bronze, silver, gold, it won't make a difference what arena stage you're in. You will be able to progress your account if you apply these simple strategies to Arena. So let's jump into the video. Okay, so first we're going to talk a little bit about some basic ideas of how to build a speed farm or a farming arena team. Now, this is not a go second team. This is not any other type of team. There's a million different ones out there, but you can apply some of the same principles to the other ones. But the ideas are all the same. And before you stop me and tell me I already know all this, just hear me out on a lot of this stuff, because you'd be surprised. Some of the stuff you might be able to pick up little things here and there that you're just not doing or maybe just not applying that's kind of holding you back at this point. So first and foremost, you're going to have to understand the composition of an arena team. The most basic arena team is going to include a aura champion, hopefully your fastest champion. You're going to need some kind of speed booster or some combination of speed booster, speed up champion, turn meter fill. You're going to need a decreased defense champion, and you're going to want a nuker. Now, there's a bunch of different ways to build this, but the most easy way to do it is to understand the role that each one fills. So we're going to start off with probably what I would consider the easiest team and probably the one you see the most of in Arena, right? So first and foremost, you got your first member of your team. That's going to be your lead. Now, your lead is not always your fastest champion, but most of the time they are. So to keep things simple, we're going to use everyone's nemesis. We're going to use Arbiter, right? Now, the reason everyone uses Arbiter and the reason everyone loves Arbiter, sure, it's great that she has a entire team revive, but the reason that you really want Arbiter is you want her for this A3 ability, where she is going to put an increased attack buff, and she is going to fill the turn meter of all allies by 30%, okay? So what that's going to do for you is that's going to automatically boost the speeds up of everybody else in your team so that they can effectively run slower. Now, we'll talk about how you're going to tune that and make sure that, you know, other people aren't cutting in and things like that. But we're going to use Arbiter as our turn meter fill champion. Now, it just so happens that she also has one of the best auras you can possibly have in the game, where it is an ally speed in arena battles by 30%. So she is going to automatically become your lead so that you're getting an extra 30% speed for everybody in your team. Now, that 30% aura is applied to the base stats when we try to figure this out. So if you go back here and you look at your artifacts, that 30% aura is going to be applied to the base speed, which down here is 110, and it will be applied to every champion. Okay, so it is not applied to the entire speed, it is only applied to that base speed. But that's also going to allow us to basically speed up our other champions to make them faster. Now, the second champion that you're going to have in your composition, as I mentioned, is either another turn meter fill champion or someone that has increased speed, or better yet, both. So for my team, I use Lysandra for this in my team. The reason I do that is because if you look at her A3 ability, this does all kinds of stuff for us all at the same time. She's by far the best one at this, but we'll go over some other options as well. I don't want you to feel like you have to have all these legendaries or anything like that. We're just going through the basics real quick. So she is going to place an increased speed buff on all allies for 2 turns. So that's going to automatically increase everyone behind her speed. She is going to fill the turn meter of all allies by an additional 30%. So Arbiter already filled them by 15%, and now she is going to fill them by another 30% on top of that. She can also decrease the speed of enemies if she passes the accuracy check, but we're not going to factor that into anything when we build our team out. That would be more of like a kind of nice to have, but not something that we're going to rely on happening all the time. Then we're going to be looking for a decreased defense type champion as our third champion. Okay, so in my most of my comps, I will run Madame Saris. Again, you don't have to have Madame Saris. We're just looking for someone that has decreased defense. So Madame Saris is by far the best at this, and that's because she's going to take all of the buffs off of everybody. She is going to then apply a decrease attack just in case the other team does get a turn. She's also going to then apply a decreased defense to the other team. So it's going to lower the amount of defense that they have so that when our nuker comes in there, our nuker can be that much more effective. And then, of course, you're going to have some type of nuker as your fourth champion. So in most of my speed farming comps, I will use Foley as my champion. Of course, Trunda is probably the most famous for this, but it could, again, be all kinds of different nukers, and we'll talk about how you're going to figure out who they are. I like Foley personally because on his A3, not only is it an AoE hit, he can decrease the turn meter of other champions if he had some accuracy. We don't build him with any accuracy because he's a nuker, but again, just another bonus. But more importantly for me, he has a block revive on this A3. So when you're going up against teams that might have 2 or 3 revivers, you don't have to worry about the fight being drug out. You just nuke them down and they're dead because the reviver can't pick them back up, basically. What does all this look like, right? So how do we come up with the comp? Because the truth is, when most people come to me, it's like they're like, well, my team's not fast enough. They're getting outrun. Well, first and foremost, you have to start thinking about your gear. How are you making your gear work? Are you using the right type of gear? Everybody's gonna be like, well, I can't get any speed rolls on any gear. Well, I would bet that that's probably because a lot of times you're not rolling all of the gear that you should be rolling. First off, any piece of speed gear, no matter what it is, should automatically, if it has speed on it, as a substat, you should be rolling it at least to 4 to see if you can hit speed. After that, if it doesn't hit speed, that's fine. You can throw it away, but you're always looking for speed on speed gear. Also, divine speed gear, you're looking for speed on. Things like perception set, you're looking for speed on, because there's people like Lysandra or Lady Kimmy where maybe you want them to have some accuracy. So they get a little bit of speed by having a set, and they get speed on the artifact itself. That's going to automatically help it out even more. When I say, are you rolling everything you could? You know, if you watch any amount of YouTube videos or you watch anyone stream the game, they will all tell you that if you have flat stat gloves or a flat stat chest, you should automatically throw them in the trash, right? Like, there's no reason that you would ever use them. So like, for example, if I had a chest piece, this one, oh, you can't even see that. Hold on. Let me hide myself real quick. Boop. This one right here, flat chest, terrible stats. I only rolled it because it has defense on it, and it's just on a random champion right now. It's something I will never use. This is a piece of trash. This is not something you would ever want to use. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. This is the type of piece they're talking about. Do not keep. Some of the fastest gear I have on my champions right now, or that I've ever found in the game, is flat stat gear. So for example, my Arbiter's gloves right now, as you can see up here, this is an epic 6-star glove that triple rolled flat HP. Most people would be like, flat HP, I would never even roll that, right? But it rolled triple roll 21, not the highest triple roll out there, but it's a triple roll, and I was able to max glyph it to 8. So this is by far the fastest set of gloves I have on my account. Now, also chest, right? Flat attack chest. Again, 22 with the base rolls, and I was able to put a 6-speed glyph on there. So had I just automatically thrown away flat stat main gear that was in speed set, I never would have found these. Now, it's not just speed that you're looking to do this in, because as you move further into the game, you're going to want speed on other sets as well. Some of the sets real quick that I have found it to be beneficial on, like I said, is perception, potentially an accuracy set if you're trying to build like a high accuracy Madame Saris, or you can also do it on immunity sets, because again, immunity sets, let's say you have an immunity arbiter. I just happen to have an immunity arbiter as well, right? So on my immunity arbiter, if you look at my gloves, it's an attack percent glove. Not that I'm ever going to attack with it, but it triple rolled into speed. I have a flat defense chest that triple rolled into speed, right? So that's all I'm looking for, is those speed rolls on that champion when I'm doing it. I want to get that speed. I want to get that champion as high as possible, because that is going to be my base. We're going to start with the base. That's where it's going to start from. Okay, so you have your speed champion. Now, how do you know how fast the rest of your team needs to be? How do you know what to do? You're going to go over to the Deadwood Jedi speed calculator, and you're going to start plugging your champions into here. That's going to help you figure out how fast your champions actually have to be to make this work. So for example, if I'm working on this team right now, I would go in here, I'd put my speed champion. Who's my speed aura? We're going to put arbiter in there. You can search. She got 30% speed aura, right? We're going to skip this section for right now. We're going to go, who's our fastest champion? Well, that was also arbiter. So we're going to put arbiter in there. What's her displayed speed? 371, okay? How many speed sets does she wear? She's wearing 3 speed sets, and with her masteries, does she have Laura Steele? The answer is yes. Now, we're not going to really look at the minimum speeds of anyone else till we fill out all the rest of our champions. So let's go ahead and put in the rest of our champions right here. So we know we have Lysandra. Oops, Arbiter is going to do her A3 ability first. Lysandra is going to do her A3 ability. We're going to ignore the skills, enemy masteries, all that stuff for right now. We're doing the easy version of this. We're going to put Madame Saris in there. She's going to do her A3. And then we are going to put Foley in here. And Foley is going to also do his A3. So what does this do for us? Well, this tells us that if our Arbiter is 371 speed, that means our Lysandra has to actually be 284.83 at a minimum to not get cut in. Because if we put our Arbiter at 371 speed and Lysandra at 270, and they have a very fast champion on their team, their champion is just going to cut in, boost, and then they're going to nuke us down. So we want to make sure that our second fastest champion is at least that fast, and it has to be Lysandra. Now, based on this comp, and we'll talk about what other comps look like in just a minute as well. Madame Saris needs to be 228.91, and Foley needs to be 227.40. So for this comp to not get cut in, if I go first in the team, I'm going to be looking for 371 for an Arbiter. I need to be at all these other speeds for the rest of my team. You can be like, yo, Time, but I don't have Arbiter. I'm trying to get Arbiter. That's my problem. Or I don't have Lysandra. Like, what do I do? Well, you can build any number of different teams this way. There's all kinds of champions in the game that have these features, and a lot of them you may not even realize they exist, right? The other thing you can do is you can also put some form of CC in there, right? So in this case, what if I didn't have Lysandra, but I wanted to try to build some type of team around this? Well, I could use some type of CC champion, and then I can automatically lower my speeds for my other champions, right? But if I use a different champion, let's say I want to use a CC champion. Let's say I'm going to use Astralon. Now, a lot of people will use Astralon as a nuker, but he is also a very good CC champion, right? So we can use Astralon in there. He's going to do his A3. Now, yes, he needs to be super fast to get that done, right? But because he's going to stun everyone, right? Hopefully, we're going to get enough accuracy in there. He's going to stun everyone. That means I don't even need to pay attention to the speeds of my third and fourth champion at that point. Because Arbiter's going to go, he's going to stun, and then we're going to drop defense and nuke, but they will have been stunned, so it really doesn't matter. They're going to miss a turn, basically. As for how do you find these champions, actually super easy. When I am building arena teams, I like to have a couple boosters, a couple of everything. So there's all kinds of champions that are really good for it. Lady Kimmy is really good for this. On her A3, right? She fills the turn meter of all allies by 15% and puts an increased speed buff. So she's filling 2 of those roles again. She's putting the increased speed buff and she's doing the turn meter fill. You're like, well, okay, so that's another legendary I don't have. Okay, no problem. Let's go look at some epics that do similar things, right? You've got Golden Reaper. You're like, Golden Reaper? What? Yes, Golden Reaper. Places a 30% increased speed buff on all allies for 2 turns and boosts the turn meter by 20%. So if you need a booster to run right behind, then this is your champion. Well, okay, but that's a void champion. I don't have them. Okay, well, I mean, there's lots of other champions that do it. We've got Gorgoreb does it, right? On his A3, or sorry, his A2. He's going to fill some turn meters, all allies, by 15%. So you got a little bit of turn meter there. You can use Apothecary. He's probably one of the most famous, right? 30% increased speed buff on allies and fills the turn meter by 15%. But how do you find these champions? I mean, there's 500 champions in the game. Well, if we go over here to hellhades.com, you scroll down, you've got spots here say aura, buff, debuff, and instant. So first thing, we're looking for a speed aura, right? So we're going to go to auras. We're going to go to speed auras. And it's going to bring up who has speed auras in all battles, right? Who can we use? Now, it's not sorted by the amount of speed in all battles, I don't think, from the looks of it. I could be mistaken. No, it's not. You can click on the champion and figure out from there what their aura is, right? So we can scroll down and we can take a look and we can say, well, she has an ally speed in all battles of 24%. So maybe she's your aura champion. Now, keep in mind, your aura champion doesn't have to be your fastest champion. We've got all battle auras. We can scroll down. We can see that, you know, there's a couple good options here. We have arena auras, right? We wouldn't want dungeons because that's not going to help you. But there's tons of champions here that have all kinds of auras. Another champion that's really good for arena is Skull Crown, right? Now, Skull Crown is not going to be your fastest champion, but she can be your arena aura. So you could put Skull Crown in your aura spot because she has a 23%, I think it is. Okay, 23%, yes. She has a 23% aura, so she could be your aura champion. You could put like an apothecary in as your fastest champion. So you put all your fastest speed gear on him so that he goes first, basically. He's going to boost up. You're going to have then someone go behind him, maybe another booster or some form of CC champion, or like Deacon Armstrong is great for this because Deacon Armstrong can not only boost your turn meter, but he will drop defense for everybody. Then you're going to put your nuker, which is Skull Crown. Well, she was your aura lead, but she didn't have to be your fastest, so she could actually be your slowest champion at that point and be your nuker. The goal is to make sure that you build out each piece of the arena team and think through which champions you have to figure out how you're going to plug them into the arena calculator. And then whatever champions you come up with, you just plug them into the arena calculator and you just try to get to those speeds, basically. Remember, most of these champions, they're going to have very few requirements. Too many people get caught up in what the other stats are and everything. With Arbiter, for example, I don't care if her health is low. I don't care if her defense is low. I don't care about any of that. I only care that she is the fastest that I can possibly make her. Same way with a speed booster. If I was running Apothecary as my second fastest, yes, the other stats are nice to have, but first and foremost, I want him going as fast as possible so that I can make sure that my team doesn't get cut in on. And then with your decreased defense champion, obviously you're just trying to make sure that you're able to hit your accuracy requirement so that you don't have any issues there and that they meet the speed requirement. Any other stats you can give them after that, great. But that's the easiest way to do it. And then how do you find the right teams to attack, right? So you're going through, you build out your team, you checked your speeds, everything's good. You got as fast as you possibly could. Now, how do you know what teams to pick? Well, part of this just comes from experience, but part of it is kind of common sense, believe it or not. So if I go into the arena right now, I'm all the way down in gold 4. I can look at teams. Now, first and foremost, I have a speed lead, right? So automatically, any team that doesn't have a speed lead, I know I can probably attack because I'm going to be faster than them. I'm going to boost, I'm going to drop their defense, and then I'm going to nuke them. So I don't have to worry about that. So anyone that doesn't have a speed lead, I'm automatically probably going to attack. Now, even ones with speed leads, you can take a look now knowing how to build a speed team, whether or not that team is going to be able to survive or keep up with you. So if you have, say, an Arbiter and a Lysandra and a Ceres and a Foley like I do, where I'm not only going fast, but I'm boosting, that's 2 speed champions. So the team I'm going against, if they don't have 2 speed champions, I'm going to cut in on them. For example, even if this team right here that has Arbiter, it has Madame Ceres, it has Astralon, and it has Magnar. Now, 99 times out of 100, people are going to build Astralon as a nuker. They're not going to build him as CC. Plus, if this Arbiter is fast enough to outrun me, it would have to be at least 372 speed since my Arbiter's 371, right? Which means that their Astralon would have to be over 300 speed. No one's going to build him like that. They would need another booster in there to beat me. So let's say, for example, their Arbiter is 372, and it wins the start of the race. My Arbiter is going to automatically cut in on this team, so there's no danger in me attacking this team no matter what. Even if their Arbiter was faster, I'm going to win that speed race, and I'm just going to nuke their team down. Like, without a doubt. Super easy. You can find teams like this very, very easy. All you have to do is go through. Now, any team that doesn't automatically have a speed lead is probably going to be a team that you're going to want to hit, unless, like, for example, this one, obviously my speed lead is going to be faster, but he has a Hegemon, so his Hegemon is going to go first. But it looks like most of these are speed leads. Now, here's one that doesn't have a speed lead, right? So the question is, do I have enough damage to kill this team? This is a resistance aura, so I already know that I'm faster than this team. I know I'm going to go first no matter what. Now, can I kill this team? Well, I don't know, because the truth is that Rotos has this double hitter. So I'm going to go in here. I'm obviously going to go first, right? You can tell I went first. Arbiter, if I do this on auto, automatically does hers. Lysandre's going to boost. Madame Ceres is going to strip. And then I'm going to nuke. In this case, I'm going to go after Rhodos because I need to make sure that Rhodos dies. And it looks like everybody died but Duchess. This is why I use Foley, by the way. Because in most teams now, I don't have anything left. And Duchess will just go ahead and revive them, right? So Duchess is going to take a turn here. Well, maybe not. All right, I decreased her turn meter. But normally Duchess would take a turn here. She would be able to revive. But because I have Foley, she can't revive anyone. So I can literally just put this on auto and it really won't matter what happens. So super simple. I already know that I was faster than that. After you fight enough teams, you will start to see who you're faster than. So like this one has a double booster. As a matter of fact, this is the exact same team as my team. But the odds are this guy's power is super low, right? If I look at him, his player power is only 3.6 million. He's only level 86. So obviously, most likely, I'm going to be faster than him. So super simple to attack them. Has nothing to do with whether they have legendary champions, has nothing to do with any of that other stuff. I see far too many people that are in like bronze and silver arena talking about, well, I see whole teams of, you know, legendary champions or whatever. That's irrelevant because as long as you are not attacking teams that have a speed lead, if you build a speed team, you're going to go first. So as long as you build your team properly, you're going to go first, you're going to go second, your third is going to go third, you're going to nuke down, and most of their team is going to be gone by that point. So you should be able to win those fights. Overall, it's pretty simple and straightforward. All you have to do is build a faster team. Now, how do you do that, right? Obviously, you got to get some gear. How are you going to do that? Well, you're going to start rolling all of your speed. There's almost no one that builds teams like this in anywhere in bronze or silver, or even in the bottom of gold, to be quite honest with you. Sure, you're going to come up against some teams that have an arbiter in them. Pay it no mind. Because the truth is, if you don't have arbiter and you go up against a team that has an arbiter, but you have a speed lead of like 19% or 23%, and they don't have a second booster, but you are speed tuned so that you go right in order based on that calculator we looked at, you're going to cut in on them and you're going to nuke them down and you're going to win. So you're going to take that winning percent from 50% to 70% to 90% to hopefully as much as 100%. Hopefully this helped you. I know this doesn't answer every question there is about Arena, but it is the most basic type of Arena team that you can possibly build and start getting yourself some wins. You could also put the same team on defense, by the way, because what's going to happen is other people are going to attack you. Maybe they have an arbiter and they're going to try to attack you and they're not going to realize that you're speed tuned and they're not, and they're just going to automatically lose because of it. So don't even worry about that. Don't feel like you need to build like 10 different teams when you're at the lower levels. You don't have to worry about building multiple teams until you're much, much higher. Gold 4, Gold 5, Plat, whatever. But guys, I do want to thank you guys so much for watching the video. Be sure that if you do like this type of content, be sure to give the video a thumbs up. It really does help the algorithm, and I would really appreciate it. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Turn on notifications so you know when my new videos go up. And of course, as always, until next time, be good.